Hey, how are you? This is Susan Patang from the Quiet Zone Coaching, and you are listening to No More Losers Dating After Divorce. Welcome back. Today, I want to talk about 5 reasons that you should avoid a rebound relationship. Breakups are awful. We all know that. We've all experienced it. Starting something new again right away is tempting, isn't it? But is it really a good idea? So here are 5 reasons why you should probably avoid that rebound relationship. And let's talk about that. So number 1, you think you hate your ex, but you're still not over him. Okay, I guarantee it. After a divorce or a breakup, our emotions go through an emotional blender. Okay. Even if it doesn't really feel that way, it's like putting all the dice in a Yahtzee cup and shaking them up and throwing them up in the air. Okay, a lot of us are angry and we want to cause our ex pain. Some of us are angry that we've broken up and we want them back. Okay, we're jealous and we want them back. So we might try to make the ex jealous by picking up somebody else, okay, and starting a new relationship right away. But no matter how good or bad the relationship was, emotionally, we are going to grieve it because we have lost something that is familiar to us, that is very highly emotionally charged, right? So we're going to want that comfort back, even though if it's the devil, okay? So what we might do is we might jump into a new partnership right away to entice back the ex. Even subconsciously, you may not even realize that you're doing this. So that's going to now create a doom to fail situation with the new partner, right? Because if your mind isn't in it, you're conflicting with your own sense of self-protection. This is not the way to heal the hurt. This is not the way to take care of yourself. Now you're confused about your feelings. You don't know what you want, and you're going to get hurt again and hurt somebody else in the process. So you got to have some time to process that, which is number 2, you haven't healed emotionally. Going through that emotional blender of divorce can give your self-esteem and your self-worth a big hit. And again, even though it might have been an amicable breakup, it might not have been traumatic or angry, but you still have to process that. Your mind has to learn that now everything is different. Okay. Everything is going to look different. So a rebound relationship might feel like it's healing that. And you may also be giving kind of like a big gigantic finger to your ex, by saying, well, see, you didn't want me, but I'm still valuable because somebody else does. That's trying to make your self-worth feel better. But when a relationship is based on less than pure emotions like jealousy or neediness or a lack of self-worth or self-esteem, it's not love, it's doomed to fail. So if we take the time to process that hurt, that grief, that anger, and the sense of betrayal from our old relationship, and also the change, that emotional change in our daily life, it's a huge change, okay? And we have to adapt to that. And human beings are very good at adapting. So not only heal from the wounds, but also take the time to learn the lessons from that relationship. So in every tragedy, okay, there are lessons to be learned, and a breakup is tragic for one or both of these people. It's a big, huge change, and it throws the Yahtzee cup up in the air, but we can actually become better human beings because of it. So learn the lesson from those. Take the time to say, okay, so what could I have done differently? What could he have done differently? What could have been better? What did we need more of? Do that kind of work and ask yourself those questions to learn the lessons that are to be learned from that relationship and that breakup, okay? When we do that before we jump into another relationship, we're much more likely to have a healthy and positive relationship. Number 3 is that if you jump into a rebound relationship too soon, you might develop some unhealthy, bad emotional habits. And these are things that are tough to undo. So what do you really want from this new relationship? Ask yourself that. Are you looking for support? Are you looking for sympathy? Are you looking for somebody to give you positive strokes that your ex didn't? What are you looking for? Okay. And by giving into those negatives, okay, so instead of giving yourself those things, you're actually counting on others to give them to you. And that makes you codependent. Okay. You don't want that. Okay. Because if you give into those emotions without processing the hurt, what you're going to do is open yourselves up to being dependent on others for your happiness. And that's too easy to do. Okay. It's too easy to give that responsibility over to somebody else. And what happens is when we do that, we now start sending out vibes of neediness and dependency. And users, losers, and psychic vampires can sniff that shit out a mile away. So that is the last thing that you want to be sending out into the world. Okay. And trying to get back on track and not be that emotionally needy and dependent person is not easy to do. You do not want to be you don't want to be in that habit. Okay. So you don't want those bad relationships to follow you in the bad habits to follow you into relationships for years to come, right? That's not what you want. Number 4, you might cause yourself some unnecessary stress, because what you're doing is you're actually violating your value system. And you're probably saying, what is she talking about? Well, how am I violating my value system? Well, here's how. How would you feel if you found out that somebody that you're dating is still either hung up on the ex or is still really angry with the ex and trying to punish them and is not focused on you? Okay, that there's this ex and this just past relationship that's weighing down on them. They're not giving you their all. They're still got one foot in that and punishing the ex or making them jealous or whatever. How would you feel if somebody did that to you? Not too good, right? So it wouldn't feel nice. So when we do things that violate who we want to be as a person by, not following the golden rule and treating other people in a way that we would not want to be treated ourselves, we end up causing ourselves stress. Because what we're doing is actually at odds with our morals and our values. That's what's known as cognitive dissonance, where your subconscious and your conscious mind are duking it out because you're not doing what you want to be doing as a person, as a human being. You're trying to make yourself feel better at the expense of somebody else's health, emotional health. Okay. So after the stress of a divorce, is that really, or a breakup, is that what you really want? Do you want more stress? Do you want to cause yourself more stress? Because that's what cognitive dissonance is going to give you, is more stress. You do not want to do that. You don't want to be that person, right? So let's not do that. Number 5, what you're doing also by having a rebound relationship too soon is you're putting an awful lot of unfair pressure on that new partner. Both parties need to be emotionally available for that commitment. And that doesn't mean you're going to get married and, or be dating or living together or whatever it is, but that it's still a commitment, okay, to be seeing somebody else, to be dating somebody else. And your new partner is just not going to magically fix everything that's wrong in your life right now, or the hurts that you're feeling from your past relationship. That's why it takes time to process. You need the dust to settle after that breakup and say, okay, so what does my life look like right now? What is something positive I can find in my life right now? How can I feel good about myself by myself? And going back to developing that bad emotional habit, you want to be able to take care of your own emotional needs. You don't want to have to rely on somebody else for that. Okay. So what do you want your life to look like? And if you don't have a good idea of now who you are in this new single status and what your life looks like and what's good about it or what's not good about it that needs to change, you're putting an awful lot of pressure on this new partner to help you find that out. And maybe they're dealing with their own shit. Okay. Maybe they don't need that from you. Okay. That is a huge expectation to put on somebody that you are just starting to date. So again, ask yourself, if the situation was reversed, how would I feel about that? You want to use the golden rule. Okay, you want to, how would I treat somebody? How would I want them to treat me? And that's how you should behave. So how does one heal from the past and get started again? How does this, how does this work? Well, everybody's situation is different. Okay, so what I can tell you is a consistent is your self-talk. What you say to yourself, that little devil on your shoulder that's whispering in your ear and telling you about guys, about relationships, about love and romance, about life in general, and about you and your worthiness and your well-being. That little devil on your shoulder is actually your subconscious talking to you. It is giving you clues as to what it is you really believe about those things. And I have just recently talked to a whole bunch of women and there was a real consistent theme there about how their attitudes and their beliefs about the whole love and romance and dating thing in general was spoiled because they had bad experiences with other people. So what's happening to them is what they believe about love and romance. That little self-talk, that voice that's whispering in their ear is sabotaging them. They're actually keeping themselves from finding a good relationship because of those beliefs that they have created for themselves out of past experience. And we know that that can't be reality because there are so many people out there who have awesome relationships. So it can't be everybody. So what's the difference? Okay. What we think and what we believe about love and romance and ourselves and partners, potential partners, prospects, all of what we tell ourselves about that is contributing to our not being able to find the perfect partner for us. I have a video, it's called 3 Surprising Ways Your Self-Talk is Sabotaging Your Love Life. And if you watch that, you will learn not only how that happens, how that works, but also what to do to fix it. Okay, so I want you to go to www.thequietzonecoaching.com/self-talk. And you'll get some really great tips for fixing that problem. So until tomorrow, have a wonderful, awesome, amazing day. Namaste, and I'll see you then.